So I got hit with something right as I recorded my video for Monday.
Who hit you? I'll kill them.
What? No, not what I mean.
Something hit you? That's hilarious.
No, not in that way. Look, Astartes 2 was announced.
Oh, you used the first one in a few of your videos in the past, including when you were talking about if Warhammer Plus was even worth the money it costs you, right?
Yeah, it's probably one of the greatest Warhammer-related videos on the internet. It does seem like GW has lifted some of their restrictions on what Warhammer-related content can be made, most likely realizing the issue that if they buy or kill everything people like, people might not be able to find out enough about their product to warrant buying anything. Maybe that's why GW is being more tight-gripped with the third-party products, like how Etsy products can only exist for a week before they're being shut down. But this is about that trailer that just dropped. In order to talk about it, I need to state something first. GW tried killing the Death Watch, and this, an official Warhammer production, utilizes the motto of the Death Watch. So I don't know how long this was in production, but it's rather perplexing how Games Workshop keeps trying to use the Death Watch as a marketing stunt, but also doesn't want the Death Watch to exist. But the Astartes 2 video utilizes that phrase, "Suffer not the alien to live." This implies that the Death Watch will play a big role in the Astartes 2 show, but we don't know that for certain, but it's an assumption we can make. Of course, the trailer has a bit where there's about half a dozen Astartes chapters showing. The creator's own chapter, the Retributor Astartes, obviously being the first and foremost centered one. The Emperor Scythes are also very well shown, immediately following a jump pack intercessor coming at you like a fart under the covers. The Blood Angels, a very well focused on, showing their shoulders and a high-ranking helmet, and some sanguinary guards, what I assume to be a Nova Marines, which are an Ultramarine successor, but I know there's 1,000 who use the same sigil. And I think the last might be the Mortifactors, but it's hard to tell as the faceplate is painted with a skull and a shoulder isn't shown, while most Mortifactors bear an actual skull on their helmets instead of just painting it. Of course, when the title screen shows, it's something very different. An Indomitus tactical dreadnought armor, bearing the sigil of the Death Watch, the Ordos Xenos Iron Skull. It then says that line, "Suffer not the alien to live," and says it'll be coming out in 2026. The creator of the Astartes series has a new channel, linked down below, named Digital Bones. I could have sworn the guy had a channel, but to be completely honest, it's possible that he had to make a new channel due to contracts with Game Workshop, or he just lost the password to the old account. Honestly, could be both, could be neither, who knows. But the fact that this is a sequel makes me wonder something. Will this be a direct sequel, or is it a different story entirely? The trailer implies several Astartes chapters, including that Death Watch, and looking at the channel trailer, there's more on it too, including Imperial Guard and some other projects he's done, including but not limited to the secret level half-episode. But the Astartes series ended with the Retributor Astartes being sucked into some unknown sphere of a psychic power and then thrown somewhere. I'll do my best to have that scene showing right here, right now, but the channel trailer implies it's not going to connect to that at all. So, is this really a direct sequel or just a connected thing? Well, I believe it'll be more just loosely connected. Games Workshop does that a lot. Their show, Hammer and Bolter, is multiple cartoons across their major settings, Warhammer Fantasy and Warhammer 40,000. I'm surprised they haven't done an episode on Blood Bowl, given that's just a fun setting that takes place in the future of fantasy. They also have a habit of releasing single episode of something, then seemingly abandoning it, often leaving something on a cliffhanger, though not entirely a cliffhanger. Lancer kinda did this, ending a single episode on the new Queen of the Night's house, showing signs of Nurgle corruption. There's also how Interrogator ends, which sets up for a sequel series, or even a second season, which the UK would call a second series, which makes no sense because what is Astartes 2 then? A separate series? Separate show? Sure, but it's a spin-off series, right? Languages, shouldn't go into them. Either way, Warhammer Community actually has a link to watch the trailer and give it a bit of an article, but it won't show up on my PC for some reason. Actually, checking if it'll work on my unmodded Android phone, it still doesn't work. Says it's a client-side issue, but it might just be my phone or my PC, or maybe my internet provider. It started working right as I finished this script, so I have to change this paragraph a little bit, but it seems as though GW stated that the scenes in the trailer aren't actually going to be in the show itself. I can't apply American laws to them, since they're a British company after all, but here in the States, that's considered false advertisement. Warner Brothers got heat for that misrepresenting the 2016 Suicide Squad film. Not the Suicide Squad, but this video will now be hidden in most countries for using that word twice. But GW apparently also said the scenes that are used are representing the Astartes before. Before what? I don't know, because the article is only like one paragraph and the video itself. However, I will cheer to the heavens if there's a one-hand Retributor. That is the reason I don't use plasma on the table. My luck always makes me roll a 1. Of course, with all that in mind, we can't really give a guess as to what is going to be happening with the show. And only guess that we can make is that the Death Watch is involved. We still can't guarantee that. For all we know, this could be something entirely different. Hell, I didn't even notice any aliens in this trailer. So the Death Watch might not have anything to do with the show, it's just a marketing tactic, which would boil my blood. The trailer shows a lot of Chaos Space Marines, so maybe this will be in like the Inquisitor Eisenhorn books. Seriously, he's a part of the Ordo Xenos, and yet he fights heretics and chaos primarily. It's weird. Most we hear about him is him using his psychic power against traitor humans instead of aliens. Despite his job being alien hunting. But we won't know what this show will entail until 2026. Am I excited? Of course! I hope GW allows the creator of this show to go above and beyond. I know censorship laws in New Zealand aren't near as strict as England, and the creator seems to be a Kiwi. Of course, Games Workshop needs to follow UK laws, like how YouTube needs to follow American laws. But I'll admit, I'm excited for this. The animations will be good no matter what, even if there's no overarching story. We'll have to wait and see what happens, won't we? Now, shove off.